This is a topic that I avoid talking in public, like even with friends and stuff. I do talk about it, but not in such depth because romance has been at the center of my life for far too long. And I wasn't even conscious of it many of those times. I Well, we should define romance first. And for me, it was not just romance, but the whole performance of it and what had to do with it. For example, male validation had a lot to do with it. And it's one of those things that you don't want to admit to yourself, of course, because why would you say, hey, I'm addicted to male validation? Like, that's not something that you want to say out loud or even admit to yourself. Especially because, at least in my experience, it was something passive in a way. Because I've never been in a relationship before. And so I had this excuse of, well, I'm not acting on it, at least. But I was acting on it, just in subtle ways. I Even nowadays, I still have these thoughts that, or these beliefs. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just patterns of behaviors and whys behind what I do that make me want to appeal to a male gaze. And like, even after a long process of thinking about what I wanted and what I needed to be in order to have a healthy relationship, the one that I want to have one day, I still I use that as a way of changing the whole discourse I had in my head to, okay, but is this oh my god, my dog just did some weird noise. Is this thing I'm doing making me a good partner to my ideal partner? And of course that's a valid question to ask, but it can't be the question you're constantly asking yourself. And that's a huge problem, and I'm still working on it. I'm still working on everything I'm about to talk right now. But what I wanted to say is that, as a main insight I've been learning lately, is that you need to center yourself in your life in order to be happy. And even people that are in healthy, loving relationships also need to center themselves to be happy. Because, well, I was just listening to this episode of a girl, I'll link on the description. She has great content, and she was talking about this whole concept of decentering romance and relationships and all that. And she explained this very beautifully, so I'll copy her metaphor. Your life is like a garden, right? And you have this garden, and the garden has like different areas and different plants and different flowers and things you need to tend to, right? And these areas are like finances, your career, your friendships, your family relationships. There's also a romantic relationship there, and romance in general. And that is just an area of your life. Your life is like this circle, let's say, that's divided into all these different areas, and you need to have some balance between those areas. And you are at the center. Like, all these things you have are for you to be happy and live well. And romance can't be at the center of your life. That makes no sense. And this whole belief we have, this whole pattern, because it's not just me, it's a lot of people, especially a lot of women, that center romance in their lives, because we've been kind of sold this idea from popular media and movies and stuff, that and songs, like, think about it, like, how many songs are there about love? I have 1,000 million songs about love, and not so many on other topics maybe. And yeah, it's all around us. If we see a movie, even if it's not about romance, if it's not a romantic movie, it will most likely have a romance subplot. So it's always there, nagging in the back of your mind, even if you don't want to see it. So it's not our fault that we have this belief, but it is our responsibility to decenter that and see life in a more holistic way in order to live well and be happy, because at the end that's what we all want. Everything we do is just to live well and be happy. Even our self-sabotaging behaviors have these well, they are way more complex, but we do those in order to satisfy our ego, and we think by satisfying our ego we'll be happier. That happens on a subconscious level, but everything we do is just a way of trying to be happy or not. It's just, even wanting to have a relationship, we want that because we think that will make us happy. We think that will make us whole, and that's the most dangerous belief we can have, that a relationship, any kind, even if it's family or romantic or friendships or whatever, a relationship can't make us whole. It's just a complement to what we are already, and to the other areas in our life, like our hobbies, the things we do for fun, our passions, our intellect, everything. All of those areas need to be taken care of in order for us to have a healthy relationship. There's also this way of seeing relationships that I really like. If you think about it, our life is this garden, right? You have this garden that is ours, and then when we have a relationship, even if it's any kind of relationship, right, we have another garden that we, like an extension, that we tend together. But we don't lose our garden, and we need to take care of our garden, because this other garden is just an extension. It's just something else that we that gives us more happiness, of course. But we can't spend all our time in that second garden, because our main garden, the one that's big and that at the end nourishes the other, then we have just let ourselves down, and you're not really fulfilling your needs. So you'll think, okay, I need to put more time on this other garden, and that's a trap we fall into. We think, oh, I'm not feeling fulfilled. Why is that? I need something else. But what you need is to look inside and see, oh, how is my life looking like? What needs nourishment and care right now? And when we have this deep desire and need for something external, we need to ask ourselves, what is this thing giving to me in theory that I don't have right now? And for relationships and romance, it's mostly validation and support. For me, it's been a lot about security. Like, every time I'm feeling a little bit unsure, and like I have no baseline to come back to, and I'm just too much out of my comfort zone, I imagine a romantic relationship because I think that will give me comfort and security. And that's what I'm lacking. And I can't put that responsibility on a partner if I have one. If I have a partner, I can't expect him to give me security. That's not fair. I have to be secure in myself. And yeah, that partner can reassure me and give me words of encouragement and even help me in practical ways. But he doesn't have that responsibility. I don't have that responsibility for him or with him. So it's unfair to expect other people to fulfill our needs and the things our dreams, like it's unfair for the other person and it's unfair for ourselves too. And this is an ongoing process, like everything. We need to take our time and start to unpack these beliefs we have, to plant new seeds that are beliefs that can actually benefit us. So yeah, that was it for today.